Education in Africa, education in Uganda, education in East Africa. We can teach all sorts of curriculums that are actually running in Africa today. The solution to what is happening may not be introducing a new school. The difference will be, are we making the information that we are teaching to those students relevant? How are you making the information relevant to the student? The child needs to know that when I study the Strait of Hormuz, how does that help me, especially in this day and age? Then we had the rote method of teaching, which was for cramming and excelling in my exam. And that was priority. The curriculums have changed. Kenya changed about 2017, 2019, and Uganda changed about 4 or 5 years ago. How is this information, how is this material being taught to be relevant to the students? The current method of teaching is the learner instructor should be partners in making sure that this information is useful to the student, is helpful to the student, but also to the society. So if they are talking about the Bunsen burner, if they are talking about literature, the books that were learned, the river between, the betrayal in the city, when the madness of an entire nation affects a solitary mind, what do you want the man to do? How is that relevant to the day and age today? Mental health? You understand? So we need to look at the education system, not necessarily being the problem, but I look at three things here: method of teaching, method of delivery. The same information that you have, I could have, anyone could have, or the rest of the world actually has, but they deliver it differently. Number two, the ratio between student and teacher. How many students are in this class that we are talking about? And remember that we have changed the way of teaching to make sure that it is competence-based. And competence-based means the instructor and the learner are partners. They jointly work on seeking answers for the complex and for the simple questions or the work that they find. Partners. I don't know how, if you understand partners, how does this work? It doesn't work when we are in large crowds of 100 people. We need to have a smaller number compared to the teachers that are teaching these students. And there will be effectiveness in the method that we are trying to deliver, or to catch up these students to have the information they need to have. The current curriculum makes sure that it's hands-on training, critical thinking, and that's what we need. My question is, do we have new teachers who are teaching this material? Maybe, maybe not. And if we have the old teachers, and I definitely love them, I definitely love my old teachers, has their mindset shifted? Have they been trained? Have they been equipped to make sure that what they are teaching has evolved to capacity building? Not, you need to excel on this exam, not to cram work, not to memorizing. Because there's a thin layer or the thin difference of when I taught this class, I used to teach this time, and I had this many students pass. And now you're introducing something new. You get? So if we could let we really want the curriculums to evolve, but I don't think they're that bad. What we need to tweak around the curriculum is to make sure that it's relevant. And then what's not relevant, we remove it. If we think that the Straits of Hormuz are important, and how are they important? Because if I teach them for me to excel the exam, I'll not know that they're relevant, that they supply refined oil into East Africa? And how does that help me if I want to become an estate manager next time? If I want to become a doctor, if I want to be, how is that relevant to me? You get? So unless we make our curriculum relevant, which is not so bad because we have changed from the way we used to teach to now, then we're going to do well. But can we look at the three challenges? Can we make sure that we are actually implementing the method of teaching, making sure that the children are not cramming, which is where the way we're going, but also to make sure that we make the information relevant. Why am I studying this? How does that help me? Teachers' mindset, the ones who used to teach, have they changed their mindset and are they adopting to the new era way of teaching? And then number three, the ratio of a teacher to the students in the class is also important. I cannot totally implement the learner instructor partnership when you have 100 students. I don't think so. If we have smaller numbers and the teacher knows my strength and my weaknesses, through this teacher, I'll get to know that, by the way, I am good at sciences, I'm good at arts. And when I grow up, these are my options of study through that same partner that I have. Or the school is going to put up a place where I can go and say, I have studied about ABCD today. How does that help me in the future on who I want to become? Career guidance is important. And I have put up a book, it will be launched soon, to help every student in Africa to get to know what are their strengths, what are they good at. That is not taught, but I want it to be in every school's library. That they will use the information they have learned in school, get into this library and say, okay, I have learned this. Then I've discovered this is what I'm good at through that textbook that will be in that school, in that library. And this is what I can become when I grow up. Oh, there's even money matters here. There's AI. How can that help me become a better entrepreneur? How can that help me become a better banker? How can that help me become a better media personnel? It's not the troubleness of the education system. It's the implementation of what we are studying and the relevance of what we are studying that is going to make a difference.